Kindie Rockstars. Prepare for a treat, let's meet and greet some bands and singers that are super sweet, making music that's fun for boys and girls. Help them learn about this great big world. Fun for the family, yes it's true, your kids will love it and you will too. Clap and dance and sing aloud, become a part of the Kindie crowd. These songs will make you move your feet and give your ears a great big treat. So settle in, grab your guitars, and let's get to know our Kindie rock stars. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kindie Rockstars. This is the show that gives you the stories behind the songs from some of the best bands and singers that are making fun, informative, educational, catchy, and occasionally silly songs for children and families. I'm your host, Patrick Adams, and each episode of Kindie Rockstars will feature an artist and a featured song. So let's get to this week's show. All right, with me today is the SOKS, and from the SOKS I have Jim Hendrix and Clay Hadden. Hello. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Hi. So tell me all about the SOKS and how you guys came to be and your backstory.
Well, thanks for having us. I think the backstory is Clay and I have known each other since 2000. We met at orientation at Winthrop University in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We were going to be freshmen, and we spent, it was like a 2-day orientation. I think we spent
two or 3 days. Yeah.
And at the end of it, we had gotten close with a group of people, and we decided, hey, we don't seem to mind each other's company. Maybe we should see if we can be roommates for the year. And that's what we ended up doing. We were roommates and we got along great. And that's kind of where our friendship started then. I was a music major at Winthrop, ended up being a music major and communication disorders major as well, which is what Clay did, and ended up going to get a master's in that, as well as starting his own speech practice. That's what he's doing. I moved to Nashville, became a musician, touring musician, studio guy. And then this is all a real quick the last 20 years. But then, we all stayed in touch. We've all seen each other, been at each other's weddings. 2020 happens. COVID changes the world. I've found myself kind of out of work, sitting at my house with my daughter. And Clay one day says, hey, I started this YouTube channel it's called Mr. Clay. And he's doing it mainly for his kids, like based on his experiences working with kids through his speech practice. And it initially started out as me writing a theme song with Clay for his Mr. Clay channel. And then Clay said, should we do some original songs? And I said, yes, but let's do them let's not follow any protocol. I think this would be a great time to experiment and do whatever kind of music we want to do. Let's just see what happens. So over the course of I guess it was April and May of last year of 2020, Clay started sending me just little scratch vocal takes on his phone of ideas that were popping in his head. And all of a sudden we're realizing Clay has this unbelievable ability to come up with insane songs on the spot. I mean, they're hilarious and witty and funny. And, we ended up taking one of the first things he ever sent, and within a day, I'd had a song laid out for it. It was called The Robots Are Coming. And then we kind of realized, hey, we have something cool going on. And we just started spitballing ideas through this. We do a Zoom or we do a phone call or just a voice text. And we started sending stuff back to each other. And these songs just started to literally pile up.
We quickly, so by the time I started, when things really shut down, and by the time between then and when we released the album, we came up with about 20 songs, which is a massive amount for a first album. And we just kind of threw everything that we had to see what we liked and what sounded good. And yeah, it was a ton of fun to do, and we look forward to doing more and more of it. We get constant, and so the band is the SOKS. It stands for the stuff our kids say. We get tons of inspiration from all of our hilarious children. Jim's got a daughter. Rob, the guitarist, has two kids, a boy and a girl, and then I've got three, two boys and a girl. And just it was the pandemic created this. We had time, and then just observing our children and being present with them more, and like learning from them, and like really listening to the funny things they say. My wife was very happy that we were doing this project, because I finally had a purpose between all the silly things that I would sing in the kitchen now. So that was good. And it was just a ton of fun. Like, we just had a lot of fun making silly songs, and we're being serious right now, and Jim sounds very professional, but we're all very intensely silly men. And so having an outlet for that has been fun too. And also just working with your best friends. I mean,
Yeah.
what job is better than like people that you enjoy hanging out with? You get to do things that are creative and fun and silly, and it's just great. When Jim sent me that first song, and it's not even our best song on the album, it's a great song, but when he sent me that, I was like, oh, this is something. Like, we're doing something. It's going to be so much fun, and everything since then has been a blast.
Yeah. It's yeah, I think for me first of all, my whole goal is to make our kids laugh. If our kids listen to the song and you see them giggle, or they want to hear it again, it doesn't matter how many record sales we get. It was one of those, okay, this is successful because our kids think it's hilarious. Because one day they're not going to think we're hilarious, but right now,
Right.
and if this music is allowing them to enjoy what we're doing, I'm super stoked. I've had a great career in music, and this being able, like Clay said, working with my best friends from college, it's actually made us stronger in our friendship over the last year, just because we talk every day, and working on this and figuring out how to reach more people. It's just it definitely it helped us not separate ourselves from reality, but it kind of gave us that break from what was really going on outside, and we were able to get together and concentrating on stuff that would make us and other people happy for a little bit. And so I'm glad that it's turned out that we're still doing it and still making music. And it's only been a year and a half, but
we're still trying. We're keeping an eye on the news right now, but we're planning on doing some more recordings here in the October timeframe. That tends to be September, October tends to be the best time for us, because of all the kids going back to school, and there's a break in there that's kind of it helps. So yeah.
And by more recording, we're going to do more recording, not one way or the other, but in-person recording.
Yeah.
In my studio, my house, all of us get together, which is where basically everything was done, was here. And I went to Clay's house at one point to get some vocal takes from him, and he actually ended up coming to Nashville once, but we actually have never done a full in-house tracking session in a room together. It's all been, I'll do all the music, I'll send it out, they'll send it back, I'll make notes, I'll edit it, send it back. And it was kind of that back and forth. So our hope is to do something where we're all in the room together, so we can be creative at the same time. But we'll see. Either way, we're going to keep going.
Yeah. I tell you what, I love listening to some of you guys' stuff, and loved it. It made me laugh. Just about every song.
Oh,
so you guys ready to dive in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Our song this week is "I Burnt My Tongue" by the SOKS. I think something that a lot of people can relate to. So, gentlemen, what's the story behind this song?
Well, so my son is in this middle son, Case, and he's wonderful and he's hilarious. He has done this multiple times, and I have told him that this song is about him, where he will, no matter how many times I say to him, let's not drink that yet, we got to let it cool down, without a doubt will burn his tongue on hot chocolate. It's part of his nature, I guess. It's what he does. This song was inspired by that. And then I sent it to Jim. We had just finished our song, The Robots Are, and Jim had a better idea where we wanted to go musically with a lot of things. So I sent it to him originally, kind of as a song that would be in the same vein as the comedy. And he said, "Oh no, 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 no! That song will be. This will be a song where a child is singing the blues, essentially, right, Jim? That he has burnt his, or someone mourning a child too is part of it. But I'll let Jim talk about that part of it."
Yeah, so Clay, when he sent it, he was like, I burnt my tongue, and kind of like a robot, and I was like, man, we can't have another robot song. And in my eyes, I hear this like funky groove in the background, and this just big dude with this big voice, just kind of like telling you, hey, this old man that would, if you ever get advice from an old man in the South, sitting on a porch, like, hey, I'm gonna tell you what you don't need to do. You don't want to burn your tongue on hot chocolate. So that was the first thing that came to my mind. So I started with this like funky, like just real fat backbeat on the drums and big bass guitar and just a really funky rhythmic guitar thing. And then Rob added some stuff with the guitar later. But I sent that, and I don't know if Clay was like totally on board because it was so different than what he was doing. I was like, hey man, I'm going to be honest. This is the way this song's going to go. And thankfully, by the end of it, it worked out great. And we both ended up thinking it was just a really cool version.
This was the second song we made, and it has stuck with me as one of my favorites. And when I say the second song we made, like it's not Jim's second song, but it's literally the second song that I've ever made in my entire life. And it's I just feel good about it. And it's fun. And it's got the lowest note in any kid song, I think, probably ever. At the end, when Jim says, "I burnt my tongue on the hot chocolate," that end. I don't know if you're going to find music with notes that low, and it's just
you have a song
so
that is. We do have one of our songs has a lower note. That song goes. I sing a low A, which is pretty low for any bass singers out there below the staff. We also have a song called Are We There Yet? That's on our record. That is a stack of vocals that I did. It's like four or 5 part harmony, and there's a bass part, and then I also have a bass part that's like a G below the staff, which is also very low. But anyways,
trained opera singer.
I was an opera singer, so any chance I can bust that out, because I never did that in country music. In all my days of touring and playing in the studio. So it's, being able to do that, it's only because I can and wanted to, not because it really was necessary.
Is it we're doing necessary though?
No, it was necessary, but it's fun. We're gonna keep going.
All right, let's check this one out. All right, folks, the SOKS, I Burnt My Tongue.
I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue on my hot chocolate. I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue on my hot chocolate. Oh, all I wanted was a sugary treat, something good for me to drink. I saw it sitting there on the shelf. I drank it so fast I couldn't help myself. I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue on my hot chocolate. I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue on my hot chocolate. Well, who knew it would hurt this bad? Should've listened to my mom and dad. But every time I see that chocolatey sweet, it pulls me right in just like a tractor beat. I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue on my hot chocolate. I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue, I burnt my tongue on my hot chocolate. Here's a lesson, let me give it to you straight. If you got a hot drink, then I suggest you wait. Give it a minute for it to cool down, and then you drink it, oh, without a frown. Don't burn your tongue, don't burn your tongue, don't burn your tongue on your hot chocolate. Don't burn your tongue, don't burn your tongue, don't burn your tongue on your hot chocolate.
All right, everyone. That was I Burnt My Tongue by the SOKS. All right, gentlemen, tell everyone where they can download and stream your stuff and find you on social media.
So we are the SOKS, SOKS. It stands for the stuff our kids say. You can find us everywhere that you listen to music. So Apple Music, Spotify. There's this one called Deezer that I just about that we're on. Anywhere that you can listen to music, you will find us. We're on youtube.com/the SOKS. We are on Instagram as the SOKS official, and then we're on Facebook as the SOKS as well. You can find us there. And we have a website, www.thesoks, so THESOKS.com. And it has links to all of our social. I think we have a pretty funny Instagram account if you want to follow it, but then I am in charge of the Instagram account, and I think I'm pretty, so take that with a grain of salt. And yeah, follow us, and any support you give by downloading or streaming our music is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, thank you, gentlemen. And everyone out there, be sure to check these guys out. They're great.
Thank you.